Hey, Jim Parquet here with VPX Baseball, and today I'm going to talk to you about how your hips are playing into your swing, right? Do you have lazy hips? Are your hips drifting? I'm sure you heard those things or people telling you that you do, or avoid that, right? Because these are obviously big issues in trying to put good wood on the ball. Here at VPX, we train impact hitting. We don't train you to hit, to just kind of be in the lineup. We train you to be an impact style hitter. As a former major league pitcher, it's my job to know hitting. I had to stay one step ahead of you, and I train hitting quite a bit at the pro and major Division I college levels, right? Ultimately speaking, what is drifting hips or lazy hips? It's basically this, right? It's caused simply by you not loading properly, getting outside your back hip, which is your motor, right? Or your leverage and ground force reactor that pushes you and gives you that good linear drive into rotational movement. So you get outside of it, you get inside of it, you stay away from it, or you get ahead of it. So basically, for lack of better terms, your center of balance is not positioned properly over your back hip as you're moving through your stance, right? Your stance, because guys don't just start like this, they start a little athletic, right? You're trying to position somewhere in here. And then your load, right? My load, and then foot strike all the way through. So the guy that can maintain his center of balance over his bike, right? His back hip, is the guy that probably has the best opportunity to be explosive and be that impact style guy, right? To find that, check out our other videos on this kind of stuff. We've got a ton of them. We explain it more on your load and where to be positioned, that kind of stuff. But just take this on your back eye, and you'll see where you should be all the way down. This is where you should be, here, 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 all the way into foot strike and rotation, right? So lazy hips is getting outside of it in some way, either forward, back, or outside, inside, back, forward, right? The other one is to where you are lazy with it and you're drifting, right? So in order to hit a pitch, that ball, right, as a pitcher, I'm winding up and I'm going to get up on something, and that ball's coming in and you're just kind of like this. Well, we know who's going to lose that battle, obviously. We obviously know, too, that if I want to create more power, I've got to create more juice into it, right? That's why guys land soft, right? They don't get and jump. They land soft and then push hard, right? That's violence. But it's violence at the right time, because energy loads are all about creating energy, supporting it, and then using it at the right time, okay? We're going to go on over here. We're going to talk a little about this. I'm going to turn on this reader here for you, kind of show you, correlate a little few things. This is where my back foot's going to be at all times, hopefully, okay? Here's the $10 million pitch. You put this into the stands at big league level, you make 10 million bucks. You don't, you still probably have a job, but you just don't make 10 million most likely, right? So here's that pitch, up out over the plate. I want to do damage with that. The pitcher is obviously not trying to throw the ball there. He probably missed his spot because he's trying to go there. And us pitchers miss at least 4 out of 10 times at that level, right? So 2-0 count, whatever. Now, here's where we don't want to have lazy hips, right? In our load. I'm going to get outside. Okay? Now that looks great here off a tee. And that's why tee work is only one aspect of deciding whether something actually applies. You've got to put it into BP and put it into game. And you also can't just leave the tee here. You got to put it on the inside, right? But right here, just so we're going, again, lazy hips on my load, or load out, if you will be getting on the outside and coming in, okay? I have to do too much to bring it back in. Ball's coming in with some heat. It's going to be by me, or I'm going to be late, and then I'm going to be missing my pitch, okay? The other way would be getting out front of which would cause my hips to drift. So I load fine, and then I go at the pitch with my top side, which is a big problem for hitters, right? I see that, it's a beach ball. I'm getting geeked up for it, and I go at it this way. And this is what it's going to look like. Lazy drifting hips. Okay? I'm exaggerating it for you, but that's where you're at, right? Again, a drift forward. I'm not really gathering, landing, and then exploding, right? I'm going to gather fine, but I'm going to go at it with my front side. Compared to staying stacked and being proper with everything to where I load on the inside, right? Inside of my back hip. I land, and I don't go at it this way, I go at it this way. Watch what happens. I'm going to be here, right? I'm going to load, boom, land, and then I'm going to go at it and attack with my back hip. Watch what happens. Go, right? Now obviously it looks a little unathletic right now because I'm trying to break it down, load, back hip, move first. Okay? You guys get the idea. You can see the readings go up tremendously when I use my back hip properly. If I put it all together for you and land and then explode with my back hip so that my hips are staying explosive rather than lazy, it's going to look like this with the hips. Okay? One more time. Get it right. One more time. Here we go. Ready? Okay? You can see I'm using the same amount of effort, but I've got a big difference on the read. Okay? One more time so you can see it. Right here, I'm going to land and then explode with my hips and give that good jab power punch, right? Or a power jab, so to speak. Because what I'm trying to do is match the velocity of the pitch so that I can counteract it properly and then drive the baseball effectively. Right here, I see the pitch, 2-0, whatever it is, hitter's count, I'm eating fastball. Okay, good, 63. Let me do it wrong. 2-0 count, I'm eating fastball, I'm seeing my pitch, I have lazy hips. Okay, too bad. Still got a base hit, still drove it out there, but I didn't do damage with it like on the last one. Lazy hips, get outside. Okay? Again, compared to having those explosive power jab hips, right? Much better. Okay? Now let me get out front, meaning I went at it with my front shoulder, which takes me this way. Or potentially takes me this way, but obviously we know I'm not staying underneath. My hips are getting lazy and I'm drifting with my hips. I'm going to exaggerate it. Here's a hip drift. Right? That's drifting with the hips. They're slow through the zone. They are just kind of, they're drifting. Okay? Now if I did that full speed, let me show you full speed on it. Here's a full speed drift. Okay. Then this is what it should look like when you have the hips that really drive, all right? Okay? Now I'm going to use my, my harness here. It's going to help me out. Okay? Our VPX harness is going to help you with your hips. It's going to show you how to build this. You can't just train this on your own and expect that your training without any feel is going to really work. If your hips have never moved this way and you're trying to get that elite athletic hip movement that any linear to rotational athlete at the top levels of the game must have in order to compete, you gotta have feel. This thing gives you the feel, okay? If I get outside, right? If I get outside and I drift, it's gonna pull my back heel off the ground, which tells me there's a movement breakdown and I've got bad hips going, okay? If I get drifty and slow and on goes the story, it pulls it up. If I don't stay stacked and create that big power jab into the pitch, what happens is I don't feel the bungees, and therefore I'm staying stacked, staying loaded, and I'm putting good wood on the ball and being that impact hitter. So here it is again. I'm gonna go lazy, and then go out, because for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, as scientific theorem states, right? So it'll be like this, pulls my back heel off the ground. Let me try to get it to where it's just natural. There it is. That felt pretty natural and athletic. Still hitting the ball okay, right? But I just keep topping. I keep getting out front of the pitch, rather than, obviously, we want to stay behind the pitch. So if I stay stacked here, 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 all the way through, and I have that jab, that power jab, watch what happens. Okay? I stay behind it, I'm able to barrel whip. Now granted, pop that ball up to the left fielder, but at the end of the day, it's still good wood, right? Here we go again. Land, push. That one's pretty solid. Now if I want to pull it, you can see the readings are about 10-mile-an-hour difference. If I want to pull this pitch, I can, because I'm still stacked. My hands are back, and now I can barrel manipulate to get out, right? So watch this one right here. I'm going to stay stacked all the way through, and I pulled that, okay? Bottom line is this. You cannot have hips that drift. Your hips have to stay stacked and loaded in order to counteract how the pitcher goes. The harder the ball comes in, man, the more you have to give into that, meaning it doesn't have to be long, people. It's just a short. Remember, power jab, a power jab, not a power punch. Power punches get us out front, get our hips to be a little lazy. We need to be at a power jab, just a quick pop, right? And the quicker the pop is, the better I'm gonna be. Check out all of your videos, all of our videos on our website and YouTube channel, and then also we've got a full line of products for you to get you to the big leagues.